Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. Sorry, I was just checking my mic. How are you? Hope you're well. This is the daily read for Wednesday, the 4th of November 2020. So, how are we all doing? Oh, I didn't see that. I've been shuffling for about 15 or 20 minutes. It's like going off into a trance. I'm not going to talk so much. Let's see what we get. Sorry. I had the cards facing up instead of facing down. Justice in the reverse. I saw this going past right at the start of shuffling, and I thought, ooh, and here it is. And I've been breaking the pack in half and turning them up this way and that way, and there it is. Justice in the reverse. Now, when a card comes out in the reverse, it can mean a number of things, and it kind of depends on what's accompanying it. So it can be justice in the past, injustice in the past. It can be a lack of decision one way or the other. It can be a sense of unfairness and injustice. Let's wait and see what else we got. What we get. But I saw it going past. It was the only one. Oh, I don't know, I think there were two, no, perhaps two or three that I actually looked down and saw while I was shuffling. But that was the first one. Okay, I don't even know what that is. Death in the reverse. Okay, let's keep going. Death being the scorpionic card of regeneration, and the Fool just fell out. Okay, in the upright, it's all gone quite messy. Funnily enough. Right, asking for it. Strength was poking right up. I wasn't looking at it. Okay, and one more. Sorry, one more. Chariot. Which way is it going to go? Which way is it going to go? That's what the Chariot is all about. The Chariot is two horses that propel the vehicle, the power of these two animals. And yet each one of them has a mind of its own. And the job of the charioteer is to use their skill of tug and release, and kind of use their core strength to manage these two independent forces, not necessarily opposing forces, but independent forces, to create a synthesis between those two separate entities. And it might not even be as kind of harmonious as a coalition or working together, but just a synthesis, a working synthesis, in order that the chariot continue on its progress. And that's there in the upright. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Sitting right in the middle of the reading, the first one to come up in the upright was the Fool. Now, I'm quite surprised to see the Fool in the upright following Death in the reverse. I think, yeah, okay. What I'm getting from this is a false dawn, this Fool. Or it just strikes me, a false end, a seeming end. And that the actual new beginning that always follows an end, seeming or not, or hidden or not, overt or opaque, apparent or occult, which just means hidden from view, that the new beginning that follows that is really sort of quite weeny and insignificant, not in terms of its effects, but in terms of its appearance. You know, sometimes an entire building can begin to fall down from the tiniest crack. One tiny crack that you would never notice. My father used to have this policy, and I've adopted it where necessary, that if there's a crack in the wall, what he would do, he'd get a pencil and he'd draw a line across the crack, and at 90 degrees or thereabouts to the crack, and just sketch really small the date on the wall next to it. And he'd do it with internal walls as well, and that way you can go back regularly and you can see whether it's moved, and you can see how much it's moved over what period of time. I think this is actually what we're seeing here. This is what we're seeing. Now, if there is a kind of fake end to something, or a fake expression of an end to something, it's like in this country, in the Second World War, Britain declared war on Germany, but then nothing happened for months and months and months, and they called it the phony war. You know, technically, legally, we were at war, but there was no actual war happening. And what I'm getting from this, and it's mirrored with this as well, Justice in the reverse, is a declaration of an end of something that is, in its declaration, seeming much bigger and much more final than it actually is. There is an end to something because there's a new start to something, but at the moment it's quite difficult to spot. It's kind of lost in the melee, this new start. So following the Fool there, as I say, we had Strength in the upright and the Chariot in the upright. These are both indicative of mastery over, well, there are three things at work here if we've got these two cards together. There's mastery of the self in the Strength card, mastery of the inner child, and mastery over the kind of unreasonable urges, shall we say, of the gut. Okay. So that's the Strength card, and then there are two more, as I say, two more things to be mastered here, the two horses, and of course all the laws of physics, all the forces of physics that go with driving that chariot, and they can't be mastered, they can only be successfully negotiated. That's what I always say about when it's time for bed. So I'm going to go and lie down. I'm going to go and renegotiate my relationship with gravity. So it's only going through that much instead of that much. Oh, anyway, so it's not just keep on keeping on. The Chariot is often keep on keeping on, and sort of keep on top of, in the case of strength, keep on top of one's sort of lower urges. There's more to it than that, because I mean, justice in the reverse and death in the reverse are really quite potent symbols of sort of the layers of expression of something. Clearly something has ended, but it's how that is being communicated. And I'm just getting from this that it's been communicated, it's being communicated in a way that involves wrongdoing, basically, justice in the reverse. However, there's a beautiful freshness about this. There's a freshness and an innocence about this. But in order for this to get going, in order for this Fool to be able to, this new cycle to be able to begin, for the road to be open, and for the journey to be set out on in hope, which is the best mindset for any journey. It's the ideal mindset for any journey. Not to be mistaken with expectation, but hope. In order for that road to be kept open and for the road to rise to meet us and not the other way around, there's going to be quite a lot of self-control and mastery of multitudes of forces pulling in different directions. So it's quite hard work, this reading, but the Fool there sitting in the middle is a lovely, fresh, not so innocent, I have to say, not saying guilty, but he knows, you can see it in his eyes. He knows exactly what he's doing and why he's on that journey. So let's just get a little bit more. Oh, I've got a heater on in here today for the first time this season. It's really quite chilly outside, and reflected on the wall behind the machine now, I can see the heat shadow rising. Things like that please me. That's why I've only got 1.2 thousand subs. No one's interested in that kind of thing. Oh dear, maybe I'm too old for this game. Right. Okay. Nah, it really doesn't. I'm looking for an overall. Okay. It's you. The Hierophant. The Hierophant. Order is going to come out of this. An order that is apparent, clear, publicly visible and unassailable, but it's not going to come like that, but it is going to come. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again for another reading. Namaste.